All right, good morning, or good day, good afternoon, good whatever it is. It's 21st of December, 2020. It's 2200 hours here in Southeast Asia. Market opens at 2230, so we got about 29 minutes to go. Trading here on the Tradovate platform, and we've got the NQ, which is NASDAQ, and the ES. Size this down a little bit, try to make it a little bigger. We can. There we go. Okay, so what's the daily look like here? Well, we all-time highs and then slapped them silly over here. Wow. Doji or spinning top or whatever they call that thing. And here's where we are so far. So not a very pretty picture. We've got a clear double distribution in the overnight. Oh, this is a point and figure chart, but it's not scaled properly here on Tradovate, so I don't really use it. Typically, I use a 20 period range, which is what this is. Oh. Way below the close. VWAP. First, second, third standard deviation down, same way up on either side of VWAP. Market profile with, or volume profile, excuse me, with value area high, value area low, and the point of control. That's it. So we will see what we're going to get here, but wow. Inventory is obviously way short. All of overnight. We have cumulative delta and relative volume. Hopefully this trade will, stream will work out so that there's good clarity and sharp, crisp recording to analyze. The point of this stream is for a selfish reason. This is my trading log, basically, and record of my progress. The goal is to share what I do and what I learn with those who should pass by here, and hopefully together we can progress towards the kind of security and financial success that is deserving for people who work hard and try. So we'll see how we go. At present, I am doing a TopStep trader combine. I have passed stage 1 and I'm in step 2. This is step 2. You can see the equity balance here at 50,454. That's got to go to 53,000, and then I'll become a funded trader. I'll be putting links and all those explanatory bits at the information on the stream below the video. This first couple of days here, going into the end of 2020, is essentially built a new computer, pretty high end with lots of power. Set up this whole streaming idea so that I can proceed into the new year with a good high quality stream. Hopefully some folks will find value in it and entertainment. And it's, as I said, it's for accountability on my part, and as a trading log. I find it much better in my off hours or after market hours to be able to go back and replay my trades and hear my thinking out loud, and it just seemed like a much more efficient way to journal. I do have other journals that I have used in the past, but a couple I've created and a couple that I've taken part in. But this is I think this will be quite a good idea. And hopefully it will be beneficial for all of those who are basically in the same position, looking to expand your horizons and degree of financial stability or independence or whatever. This is not gambling. It's not a video game. This is extremely serious. I have a relatively sufficient vocabulary, so that I don't need to resort to a bunch of profanity. So you shouldn't be worried about that if you're happening to be listening to this first test broadcast. And we'll see how we go here. I'm debating going to I'll be testing out this black background and also a light or white background, see which is more visible. I'm a little bit afraid that the bars, which I prefer to use, are not coming through very well, and perhaps candlesticks would be better. I don't know, more visible. The thing I don't like is with candlesticks, I can't see I can't scroll back and see. You see, if I move back the way Tradovate works, if you scroll back or scrunch up your screen, it goes from candles to bars. So I like to see where value area low, high, and POC were last regular trading hours, close, and VWAP, etc. Anyway, we'll see what happens. I've got the settings about as streaming this in 440p, 60 frames per second. So we'll see how that works out. Hopefully it'll be easily visible and discernible. I think we're going 10 points, maybe. 5 might be better, and then spread it out. I don't know. That might be easier to see, huh? We'll see how that works. Just not quite bright enough. Not sure what to do about that. If there's anything I can do about that, that's another possibility. It was quite an interesting open blowback session. You can see what happened here. It was basically flat for the entire Asia session. Europe came on about 1600 and kazoom, down it went 200 points. They just hammered it. And now they brought it back up a bit. We'll see where it's going to go. If we run back for the VWAP or get into this string of low volume, it should move quickly through here. But I really don't like this. That I can't get the bars bigger and brighter, but I lose all of the history. Damn it. Okay. We're definitely buyers are on in this move. Let's see if they're going to run that up. Typically, we'd be running a bracket. So we will see what we will see here in the next 15, 20 minutes at market open. The purpose of this site will never be to make money. I'm not my goal, my revenue model is not to be a YouTube or internet star. There are those folks out there who are doing that and under the guise of being traders. But they're, selling this and selling that and enjoying this, enjoying that. And I find that questionable. For me, it's off-putting immediately. I figure if you're making enough money that they all say they are, share the wealth, share it, give back a little bit to the community, which makes me think that they're not making that money and their revenue model is really selling courses, joining rooms, that kind of thing. So there's a free chat associated with this site. Every one of these streams was going to be recorded and will be in the channel. I will not trade off stream so that every trade I take is recorded and accountable for, win or lose. And we'll see how she goes. I'm located in Southeast Asia at the moment, so I'm about 14 hours ahead of Central Time, Chicago time. Makes the open here at 22:30, which is 8:30 in the morning, Chicago. When this pandemic and whatnot was not in effect, we've had a home here and lived in this part of the world for about 10 years and also had some association in Houston. Originally grew up on a cattle ranch in Montana and have traveled quite extensively and lived in a number of countries. So trading to me is offers what I have found in my travels to be probably the best opportunity to afford basically lower entry-level cost and unlimited upside, obviously. So it has all the basic requirements for the kind of financial situation that I think would be quite good. And I believe that other people would share that idea. So I thought it would be up to me to, I had the wherewithal and the skills to build this computer and these kinds of things and have pretty quick internet service over here. It's a fiber optic hardwired to the computer or to the router. So we'll see what happens. So far, step one was quite easy to get through. If you're not familiar with TopStep Trader, unfortunately, I don't have the links on the site yet. That's probably something I'll do over this Christmas holiday. But Google TopStep Trader, and you can see the various programs. They have 2 or 3 different, called a combine. It's basically a test where you do a 2-step process. You prove to them or demonstrate to them that you understand risk management and are able to trade successfully. And once completed, you're guaranteed funding. They cover all the losses, and the funding is immediate, great withdrawal, not a scam whatsoever. It's been in business in Chicago for, I think, 2008? No. Not sure when they were started, actually. Maybe it's 8 or 10 years, so I guess 12. Anyway, I think that's a good alternative for most people because you can trade, if you do the 150 combine, you can trade 15 lots. So that is you would have to have a minimum of $7,500 in order to trade that many lots, but there's no drawdown, there's no anything else. So all the risk is on TopStep. Pretty hard to beat, in my opinion. And I've looked at several other systems. I've had a funded account. I started trading in about end of the 90s, right around the turn of the century, or the turn of the millennium there. I was in Africa at the time. Came back to the States in order to look into and further the trading idea, and got pretty much pulverized during 9/11. So I scaled it back, and here we are. What do we got going on here? Let's just have a little look. You can see what a mess they had here. Just essentially just chop fast right up to the year London Open, and whammo, 200 points. Kaboom. 730 to 470. Wow. Nearly 300 points. Wow. Would have been a tremendous move. Unfortunately, I was not watching the market at that time. I do try to trade usually because it's convenient time for me, obviously. You see my time down here at the bottom of the screen is my local. So, around 2:30 to 3 o'clock in the afternoon through London kicks in about 1600. So I'm usually able to trade the London move, and then the open of the cash regular trading hours in Chicago. That's the idea. Very seldom trade more than a couple hours a day, and that's basically it. We'll see where we are now. We're obviously way short, 128 points and 1%. So wish I could get that to work better. I'm afraid that's not going to be as good on stream as I would hope. Hopefully that will be big enough to see and clear enough. Perhaps this shaded value area behind, or range, excuse me, behind is kind of obscuring the visibility. You'll notice over here that it's a little harder to see the candles as opposed to against the black background for the ES. So maybe maybe I'll think about that, so that this shaded box is the range. So see, the low is 46.30, and our overnight high is in the hell up here somewhere. Interestingly enough, look at the view VOC. So this huge move down and VWAP being clear down here. They're still not bringing it back. So we'll see. This isn't my normal setup. Usually I have a dome also, but I am just looking at this right now for the trying to kind of nail down all of the stream stuff, settings, etc., which I'm not, stream guy. I'm not a gamer. The computer I built is pretty much game certified, but I did that because of the power and speed and the idea. Research showed that it would lend itself well for for trading and streaming. My purpose of, as I've mentioned before, is to have this be a source of accountability for me and a live recorded virtual trade journal. And all of this is always live. There's no rear view binoculars. So these streams will not ever have replay or, I don't mean replay, I mean frozen or static commentary. This will always be live. We may have some reviews where I do run the replay of the actual market data. For example, if on a weekend, if I want to look at something there, try out a strategy or whatever. But as far as the stream goes in my actual trading, trying to figure out what all these stream windows are about here. So we've got about 4 minutes now till they open. This is Monday, January. Sorry. Ahead of myself. December 21st, 2020. The NASDAQ mini. This is a 20-period range. This is a 5-minute. Also, you run a TPO on here once the market opens. And this is a ES, which generally is correlated to the NASDAQ. And in my experience, usually is leading. So lately, though, I've seen some serious divergence where ES would be screaming to the upside, and the NASDAQ was just pounding it way down. So, see what happens. Not sure what these indicators are over here on the studio screen. I'll have to do some research here. But my goal is to get to reasonable audio. I'm certainly not a rock star, but good audio, and I think obviously a good clear stream video so that it can be beneficial to those watching and also for myself on review. Doesn't look like we're gonna. We might have some volatility. You never know. This is a bracket. So when I would fire an order, I would have a take profit at 80 ticks, stop loss at 32. Take a profit trigger at 33 ticks, and then that brings the stop up to break even at 32. So that locks us in at 8, and we have the ability to run to 80 if we think there's volatility. If not, I have several others, as you can see. This is 32 ticks and ticks. Stop. And just a little over 23 ticks. When we get to 24 ticks there, we jump up to 1 tick behind it, break even, so that locks us in at about $120. Easy math. Pays a commission in easy math. Let's just think positive and imagine that we're going to get some volatility on the open here. If this overnight session from London was anything, the thing that's got me a little bit worried here is that normally just before the open there'd be a substantial amount of volatility kicking in here, and I'm seeing nothing. So that's not encouraging. There we are. We're open. Obviously a huge gap to the downside. Sellers are definitely hammering this. I would think they'd try to get it up here to VWAP, but maybe not. So the first bit of our swing, we're opening range 69. Let's see where they bring it to here. 95 and bring it back down. So there's our opening range. Some people do the opening range by time, first minute, whatever, but in my opinion, it's the opening range. Range means distance, not time. So I normally think of it as the first low and or high, whichever that is, whichever occurs first. Doesn't matter. If this thing would pull back, I'm busy talking, and I should have. They're going to take it to VWAP, and I should have been in on this trade. Oh, let's see what happens here then if you're going to be that way about it. Just touching the string of singles here. Yep. I don't like the fact that it consolidated down and then back up again. That's just giving them a breather to take it up. And that's exactly what they're going to do. This doesn't look like a big. Looks like we're going to do some scalping here, maybe. See, the ES is margin higher. Basically, they're just mirroring each other. So we're just kind of trading it back and forth here around the VWAP and the POC. Break that bottom. Doesn't look like it. Typically on a holiday trading session like we are in a holiday period, there's light volume. You can see how low the volume is already. This is relative to last period of time. And they get kind of clever that it's much easier to manipulate, to shove the market around however they feel like it, whoever they is. This is just chop city here. But, you know, if you're scalping, it's a 15-point range they're running here. I don't feel like that today. And look at this, how tight this volume area is. Wow. I just don't want to do that. And I'm certainly not going to take a trade right around VWAP, POC, and 2 eyelashes below volume volume area high. That's value area high. That's not something I'm going to do. A lot of buying activity here for very little movement. Drop off of this volume down back to the POC here, but it just doesn't seem to be. This is the old NASDAQ without the 20, 30 point rips. Volatility we've had since pandemic started, basically, I guess, has been just phenomenal. think it's going to go higher. You would think that this auction is going to build up there. There's no excess on the top. They've run it down here and looked around. But that's just a little too tight and hugging right along there, pulling that value area high right up with them. And with this screen spread out like we have it to try to maximize visibility, you see this is SD1. -1. So I don't see anything that's exactly lighting my fire. Thinking about a little scalp stab along right here to see if we could get a little action. Problem is, you see, it just comes right down. That's the bounce I was looking for right there. Comes right down to it, and then it's just they're feeling around for something here. I'm not sure what's up, but I think I'm going to be on the sideline till I figure this out. Seller's coming in hard, but it's just not going anyplace. I think it's a lack of volume. So hopefully this mic and everything is working all right. The computer's killer. I got a Ryzen 9 3900X, a GeForce RTX 2060 Super with 8 gigs for this GPU, 64 gigs of RAM. Nothing on it but 1 terabyte however you say it, NVMe, copper clad drive, and no only software on it is the browser, which is running this Tradovate, and the streaming software, which is OBS, Streamlabs OBS. Get a little short here. This doesn't look good. It's just too narrow of a. Now there ought to be a long off of this value area low, but the way this has been playing around, you see that normally that you would expect a bounce right there. But where's it going to bounce to? You've only got 5-6 ticks, right? Not good. Five ticks. Points, I mean, not ticks, I'm sorry. 4 ticks to a point. See if we could try a little short here and pick up a couple of dollars maybe. If it doesn't bottom out first. Oh, that was stupid. Right to half back. Take that right up above that low there and see if we can get a little play out of it. We need to get this ES to fall through. I don't like the looks of that. Oh, there we go. No. Sellers down here, but not with any conviction. Look at that. The entry line there, just like a support level. This is why I'm not liking this granularity. I can't see what's going on back here. I think they'd be coming down here for POC. What do we got from last? Nothing. Well, there's range. It's going to go one way or the other now. It's consolidating, and that's not making me feel all warm and fuzzy here. Like to see a big hit on the ES. Get down below that. That's funny. It's just sitting, riding right on our entry. There we go. There we are. All right, so you can see our, something I want to check out. I don't know that that is going to show up, and that's going to really irritate me if it does not. So I opt for a scalp trade, and I should have left my bigger move on there, but that's I don't have a problem with that on a holiday. $110, $110 in there an awful long time. 3 minutes. Yeah. We should have had our regular bracket on. There's, it's already doubled or tripled, and now it's going to really break hard. The second you get FOMO and try to jump on that, it's going to do exactly that right there. There's a statistic. Yes, I just don't like the way this is working. I don't like the not being able to see behind there. There's a statistic that 97% of the time, either the overnight low or the overnight high is taken out by the real-time trading. Now you see where we're coming right down to here. Look at that. Look at what I left on the table. Oh yeah. 30 points. We took 5 or 8. 5. 5.5. Took 5.5 points, and we've left 8 or 9 on the table. And if it falls through here, it could really break hard. Also, this is kind of a bottoming area too. Yeah, mouse is visible. I don't know why it's not showing that flag. That's going to really irritate me if that's not showing up. I don't see that coming through in the stream. That's irritating. Quite irritating. All right. Darn it. That's frustrating. Huh. Well, that's doggone it. Well, now when it gets into a consolidation area like this, that's where you can start doing that scalp. I was not very clever by removing my longer move here. You recall that I started out with this one, this bracket set, which is considerably different. And it's 20 ticks. That's 20 points. And ended up thinking the volatility was low, and so I switched it back to this scalp bracket. Normally I hotkey, and I have a dome up. So the next stream I will adjust the size of this area and figure out how to get the dome in there. The dome is not with the tops, with Tradovate here. I use Jigsaw. I've had Jigsaw for, geez, I don't know, years, 6, something, 7 years. Much better dome, in my opinion, easy for me to use, I guess because I'm used to it. But I have to work out how I'm going to power the stream. At the moment, the stream is running off the display, which is this one, and how I can get that looped in there. I can bring in things over the top that don't affect the stream at all, so I have to make sure that I've got that in there. Here we go. Look at this now. Where are these boys going? Up here to this volume spike, I'm guessing. Oh, that was a good short, you see. You got to pick. My trading style is I don't have a bunch of indicators and stuff, obviously, but I trade volume, cumulative delta, profile, TPO and volume profile. And in this case, excuse me, I should have had a short here at this high volume node. Got a big bunch of consolidation here. We got a high volume node there, and you'll see exactly what happened. Now that's scalp country, but that's basically almost 10 points. So, that's this move here, basically. This should have been down here, but you never know when those kind of moves are going to happen. And there ought to be a bounce off of the value area low right there. Oh, we're coming up on 30 minutes here. We should be switching to the A, B, TPL, second period. This is market profile. These periods are 30 minutes long. This is the market profile, and this is the volume profile, so I can see what is both. Value area is this darker blue, and outside value area on the volume are these. The green is the value area inside here on the TPO. That's half back. The red, which is kind of hard to see, is the POC for the TPO, and the red line is the POC for the volume area, volume profile. So got a pretty good view there of what's happening. Break this, I don't know. Pretty sticky over here. Will they test that low? That's the question. Looks like we're down on the day. Just right to that low, testing that low again and again. And, ooh, POC jumped in the volume area. So they're bringing volume. They're bringing the value area lower. Break through here now. We're going to go down to single standard for standard deviation lower, in my opinion. Well, I certainly hope this mic and things are working out right. This is a LG X Pro headset with the Blue Voice mic. So we'll see what that does. Hopefully it's what we need. It'll work out. The object of the game is not to be not to be an internet star and a bunch of fancy stuff and cameras and lights and my picture everywhere. And I can't imagine why anybody would want to see me when we're interested in learning how to in trading. Learning how or improving our skills. So that's my philosophy. Yeah, we got a little movement. Somebody woke somebody up. I don't know. Typically, it's real bad to play in the middle from the POC out. You want to do mean reversion is about 80% of the time. In other words, when we get out here on the extremes, it's going to revert back to the mean. That's why I have these standard deviations off of VWAP. There we go. You saw the bracket work. And there we are. I like the sellers. I like the momentum when we came out of the value area low. And it looks to me like we're going to go right down here to this boy, which is our number one standard deviation. And if I were a little more patient, you see, I would be about triple the money that I have now. I'd be around $600 instead of 2.25. But 2.25 in 30 minutes. It's not exactly killing myself, I guess. Better than a kick in the pants. Average winning trade's a minute 50 seconds. Longest trade was 3 minutes. 100% win rate. Expectancy is $112. Whoa, look at her go. Now she's falling out of bed, and you can see the correlation over here with the ES, so be careful when we get down around that one standard deviation. Darn it. Look at that. Huh? I mean, if you want to be really analytical about it, short there. And there's no reason to be out of that short all the way to there. And that's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 80, 90 points. It's $1,800. Wow. Now, we're not going to jump in there and start having FOMO, but look at that thing go. And I'm pretty proud of myself. Pretty proud of myself up here. Wow. So, I would certainly like to have made that, and then I would be out of step 2, and I would be funded trader now. Going in, I'd like to have that in place going into the new year. Look at this thing go. I wonder where they're going to take this thing, but I can't be doing that. Pull back. You never know. See, we got a deal right here with the ES, right to the low. And that could be the case here. No. But their overnight low is not out of reach. And second standard deviation. You would normally expect this to bounce off of this valley. They're transacting a lot of value here. A lot of contracts trading here. You'd expect it to bounce up to there, to that next volume area, because when it goes through a low, generally, there's nothing to stop it. That's value area or volume void, or whatever they call it. Everybody's got different words for stuff, but that's a low volume area. Low volume node, I think FD71 calls it. He's a pretty articulate guy, and it's interesting to listen to. There we go. See? I thought, you see how quick it went through there? Right up to that area. And we were just bounced off our low right there and bounced up again. So, but I'm not in the mood to short down here, even if I think they're going to target that overnight low, which is right here. See, these boxes are kind of handy for that. You can see where the overnight low is right there at 63. So I feel a little awkward having to use a mouse and not having a dome and whatever, but it looks to me like this is going to be a setup that works. I got to get my monitors straightened out now. My trading monitor, this monitor is a 40-inch 4K. And then I have a 24 Dell. I have two 24 Dells on either side. So I've got to get a monitor deal set up because I have a work computer here too, and I switch back and forth between the two. I need to be able to run them both at the same time. Kind of running out of desk space. That 40-inch. What I wanted was two of these 40s, but they don't make a sister ship to this one anymore. Or at least I can't find it. So I'm kind of in the throes of what to do at the moment. And I'm also want to check out how the video quality and streaming works off of this 40-inch monitor. I like to trade off it because there's plenty of space and you can see what you're doing. But we'll see how it works on the stream, and then I'll watch the stream on other monitors and laptops and stuff like that to see how it's working out for everybody. 1440p 60 frames per minute. Consolidation zone. Coiling up a spring. Which way is it going to go? Boing. Just irritated at myself. I didn't reload here. I don't have the facility. I'm not mentally wired up to short up here and then just ride it all the way down to there. That's what you should do. I mean, obviously, I had my stop above here, didn't get hit. And rather than taking profit here, and then we've never even come close to that since. That's the way you make a lot of money trading. Now, is it going to bounce off the volume, this SD1? Kind of. It's getting into the 5-tick story that it likes to do, where it just 5 up, 5 down, 5 up, 5 down. I mean, points, I'm sorry. It's 10 up, 10 down. 5 up, 5 down. So this is going to be a fairly short stream. I'm thinking I'll shut it off here. About an hour. Shut it off on the bottom of the hour. That'll be 1 hour of streaming and trading and all those kinds of things. I thought I saw there was a clock around here somewhere. One hour and 7 minutes it's been on. Concurrent viewers. Me, 1, I think. So this would be kind of great. I can delete all the old first attempts and see if this one actually has some quality to it. I'm real anxious to hear how the mic sounds. Probably going to take that low out again. Look at that, boy. You can tell the type of traders by the way specific areas are respected or the way price action moves around them. Half back, VWAP, value area low. Those things are all watched by day traders, speculators. Here we go. Here we go. Oh. This guy right here needs to drop through this he can drop through there, then this thing's out of bed. That ES falls down, this NQ's hot on its trail. But I'm not going to trade around down here, that's for sure. Sellers are reloading for another run at it, I would guess. I may turn this off early. I'm pretty tired. I had a real long night. A lot of work. Here we go. They're not staying around here long enough and trading it back and forth for a stop run. They're not letting it load up. This, could have been a lot of profit taking right here. So it's not really, now they're starting to load up. But you could easily be loading shorts too. There's a lot of these. Oh boy, it's going to go. It's going to go. It's going to go. Yeah, there we go. You see that? Stop run. That was, they just ran the stops off all these guys who were trying to get, that were looking for that new breakdown. Boop. Quick and easy. I'm just not comfortable taking a trade down here. They're just, what they're doing is just whipsawing it back and forth, getting people in and hammer it up and down 3 or 4 times and then run them. Could well do the same thing. Okay, we're gonna go long. We're gonna go long. And then guess what? We don't go long. They hit the stops again. That's rinse and repeat. Can't stop yawning. That's a sign I should go to bed. Would like to get one more trade though. Darn it. Just the minute I think they're going to be clever and run that up again, they'll take it straight down to 2. The minute I went short, here they go. And as I said earlier, here's that ES breaking that low. And that triggering this one down. Wow. Talk about a string of singles. Oof. Well, pretty obvious which direction the trade was. That is just pretty irritating. How do you get that? How do you take those? I don't know. That going to round off and bottom? Doesn't look like it. Mr. ES is over here being kind of funny. What's this look like? Now, here's the 5-minute. There's a fellow that says this 1 minute working pretty good. Not so sure about that. Let's just have a look. I don't really like candlesticks, but they sure as heck show up better. This is a 1 minute candle. I'm not sure what benefit that is. You got to imagine they're going to run into headwind when they get here, just like they have done. Oh, double bottom, double bottom. Oh, I'm losing my mind. I thought that was on the 1 minute. I'm on the range. What the heck is going on? There we are. There's that 1 minute. Well, you can see more of it. You can get some more overview here. That's kind of for sure. Sort of tempted to take a trade here, but targeting this volume, perhaps value area low. A lot of, at least that wick. Yeah, it's going to get that volume right there. Well, now I'm not going to do it. That might not be such a bad view, except it's a 1 minute chart. I can't believe that's very seldom would I ever have traded off something like that. Boom. Didn't quite get there. Good thing I didn't do that. I did get there, just exactly there. Oh, but you would have gotten taken out. You'd have been in trouble. 4.5 minutes. Now I'm gonna call her a night. That will be 11. Gee whiz, 11:30. 23:30. It's 1 hour of trading. That might not be too bad. It definitely is brighter. I'm sure it's going to be easier to see on the stream and certainly read the cumulative delta and relative volume easily. So look at that go. And typically, and when you're trading profiles, they close down here at the bottom like this. You're just liable to get yourself start some one-time framing again, which is essentially what they've had so far into the C period. My mic now sounds all funny. I don't know why. Maybe that was just an anomaly. Be interesting to see if these noises that I can hear from off the mic are translated and picked up to the stream. If so, that would be no good. And I'm real irritated that I'm not seeing the like the fly out for the trades. That's real irritating. Get back over here and see what this thing looks like. You got 1 minute. Like might also be it. Might almost be easier to trade. I don't know. Just that again. Doesn't show up. That's annoying. That's annoying. Well, there was a quick little 20-pointer and back. What's going on now? What are they doing? Well, that was the bottom of the hour. For whatever reason, they felt the need to do that. But what a nice amount of trading. And what a nice if you'd have grabbed that short, boom, converted, boom. Now we're going to come back up here and see what the heck happens at that one. I would suggest pull back to volume, which is right there. Yep. I'm going to cut the stream and call it a night. Review this and see how we're doing.